Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hi. Welcome back to our podcast. This is officially our first episode.
Yes, it is.
And we thought it would be a good idea to just talk about how we came up with the name Truth Seeking Rebels and what it signifies for us.
Yes.
We think that's going to be a good starter for the podcast. So before we even start, thank you so much guys for tuning in. If you don't know, we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we are on Google Podcasts, and soon we'll be on every other platform, or every other podcast platform. So thank you so much for being here, and let us know what you would like to hear more from us, what you enjoy, what topics you'd like us to cover, because like we said, we're going to talk about everything under the sun.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We're not leaving any stone unturned.
Period.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she said everything. So we're just gonna get into it.
Yeah.
All right. So I should start.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see.
Truth Seeking Rebels.
Truth Seeking Rebels. Okay, so I thought the name Truth Seeking Rebels resonated with me personally because I'm an advocate for authenticity, and I feel like with authenticity, you're always looking for a truth that resonates with you, or for me, I would say a truth that resonates with me. And because I'm an advocate and I like to see people living in their truth, I was like, why not, share my journey, share my truth, and see if it resonates with someone, or someone gets inspired and they're able to live in their truth. So that's number one for me.
Wow,
how about
amazing. I feel like the one thing I feel like everyone can describe before is the word authenticity.
Oh.
And since you came into my life, like since I've known you, I swear guys, I haven't said that word as much as I have while meeting Isabel.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a really personal one for you.
Thank you.
So one of mine, guys, I'm looking for my notes. Yeah, so the first one for me is truth seeking. For me, symbolizes curiosity.
Okay.
And I feel like I've always been such a curious kid.
Yes.
Wale watoto wenye you'll go and ask your parents something and they'd be like, you relax. Ama you ask someone something, they're like, relax.
Yeah.
Ama especially for me, like when I started discovering that I might not be religious, I started asking so many questions, like, oh, so if we go to hell, then blah 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 blah, and everyone is just like, shh. So for me, that truth seeking symbolizes curiosity and the permission to just go there and be curious.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you.
If you're not curious, actually, if you're not a curious person, you don't get to see the world.
Yeah.
You don't get to
live in
know
a box.
things. You live in a box.
Yeah.
So I love that you're curious. And even if you are not curious, you're probably never gonna have met.
True.
Right?
Oh my God, true. Because probably I would have had a set path. I know life is unpredictable. Yeah,
it is.
Curiosity just helps you go out there.
Yeah. And you know what? I love that about you. I love it. Yeah. So, and then number two for me, another thing that made me resonate with that name, Truth Seeking Rebels, is I want to show the world what I love and who I love unashamedly.
Oh.
First of all, I am a queer African woman.
Oh, tell them, girl.
And in Africa, that's not like something that's, mainstream, like when you're living abroad, it's already been accepted and all that. But here in Africa, it's not accepted yet. And the person that I love is queer too. I don't want to hide her because that what. So I'm a rebel in that way.
Oh wow.
Oh. Yeah, I am a rebel in that way because I get to show people who I love and what I love without conforming to like societal norms and all these things that go on. So
exactly,
I'm a rebel in that way.
Period.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah, so for me, the second one is knowing that there might be several truths in one situation. I feel like people get caught up in this idea of the truth being one singular thing. For example, like I use religion. I feel like I'm talking about religion so much today, but it's okay. So everyone believes that their religion has the one true God, you know? And I feel like that cuts across so many philosophies in life. And for me, I'm just curious enough to be like, you know what? Two things can exist at the same time. My truth can be my truth, and you still have your truth, even in the same situation. You know? So yeah, truth seeking. It's kind of freeing to know that there's no single truth.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if someone is so fixed in like this, it's either this way or no other way, people get so lost.
Yeah.
And people don't understand each other either. Because like for me, I have my own values and Michelle here has her own values. And if I never respected her values, I've never even gotten along.
Very true.
You know?
Yeah.
In terms of, it doesn't matter religion, culture, faith, how we do things. You know, there are things that we are going to align in, like value-wise, but there are the other things we are never going to align with, and that's okay. And I respect her truth, and she respects my truth.
Exactly.
And that's how life goes on. That's how you get along with people in the world. Yeah.
Oh, that's very valid, because I feel like some people are so stuck on let me say, what is it called when you go out there and tell people about your truth, but you're not open to receiving what other people know as their truth. You know, and I feel like that's such a fundamental thing for you to be a wholesome individual. You know? Yeah,
I totally agree with you on that one. So my third one. Okay. So this one also is like I want to inspire people. That's why we chose that, or I feel like that name resonates with us. The Truth Seeking Rebels is there are some things that are not mainstream yet, and some people are living in shame because of them. Like even being queer, let's say. Some people are living in shame because they are queer, and they have this belief that they can't be loved. You see? So me coming here and even living like rebelliously like this and showing people that me being queer, and also the fact that also I believe in God and I'm queer. So bringing those two things together is not something that is mainstream. So for instance, like maybe there's someone else somewhere who is living in shame because they think that they can't be loved like that. But you can be loved. I'm here. I'm loved. I'm enough. And I'm not gonna like just hide myself because of that. I'm not saying that I never hid myself before. I have lived in shame, I've lived in guilt, but I've already put that down because I know myself and I know whose I am, and I know who I am and whose I am. So I just want to inspire others to give people the freedom to just live in their truth the same way I have. So
Wow, I remember we were talking about this yesterday, and we mentioned the fact that so many people don't know there's a lot of queer Christians. Period. Like a lot of queer Christians, you know?
Yes.
And I don't know if people are not ready for that, or it's also because oftentimes queer Christians themselves struggle to, you know, just put that out there that they also believe in God.
Yes,
queer,
yes, yes.
You know? And I like the thing you said about shame. I feel like this podcast, like the name really resonates on that. Like it's like giving someone permission to just exist as themselves. And I can imagine myself, as out as I am, as a lesbian woman in Kenya, I still struggle with shame from time to time, you know? Shame from society, from most especially relatives who try to like, oh, what are you doing? You're embarrassing the family, like, you know, such things.
That's hard.
That's really powerful.
Thank you, thank you. How about you?
Okay, so the next one for me is breaking away from societal expectations that cause me harm.
Okay.
And in this situation, I mean harm, let me touch back on shame, because that's something that really used to erode my self-esteem away. You know, I used to feel so small in this world. I used to feel like, oh my God, I'm never gonna be loved. I'm never ever gonna look forward to being married, to having kids, you know, just living life as, let's say, someone who is hetero would. You know, so yeah, for sure this name just symbolizes that for me. And the rebel part of it is like, you know, when you've grown up being called a rebellious kid,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like I'm taking that power back. You know, I'm
Yes.
like, you know how let me put an example. Being called queer in the past was like a really bad name. It was like an insult.
Yeah, a derogatory name.
It was a derogatory name. And then people from the queer community have taken that back. And it's no longer like a name that is gonna be said and you're gonna be like, ooh,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I'm queer.
Yes.
And what about it?
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, for sure this our name, Truth Seeking Rebels, just signifies that for me. I am breaking away from norms, and if that makes me a rebel, then so be it.
So be it.
Yeah.
We are rebels, and we're here to create a community of rebels.
Yeah.
So if you want to know your truth, if you feel like our story or whatever we share with you resonates with you, please follow us. Bring questions.
Yeah.
We are ready to answer them.
Exactly.
We are not perfect. We don't know everything. That's why we are truth seeking rebels.
Exactly.
Yeah, we are seeking the truth too. And sometimes a truth that is like 2 years ago might not be a truth today.
Exactly.
So we're not stagnant. We learn as we go.
Yeah. We give ourselves permission to evolve.
Yes, I love that. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, guys. Do you have any other point of our name resonating?
I don't have another point, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
So do you think like you can be a truth seeker without being a rebel?
Oh my God. You know what? I'm actually gonna say no.
Okay.
Because I feel like oftentimes truth seekers are people who go against the norm.
Yeah.
Like let's say for example, you want to start a business.
Yes.
And everyone and their grandparents are telling you, no, this can never work.
Yeah.
How will you start this business in Kenya? It's never gonna be successful. You know, and some people have gotten disowned because of such things. You wanna do this course, your parents want you to do the other course, you know. But you know your calling is in this one.
Right.
You know, and that's what you wanna pursue.
Right.
That's your truth.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So by that definition, you become a rebel.
You do.
Because you're going against the societal wishes.
I hear you.
So,
that's beautiful, and that's so true. I agree with you. I agree with you because like for me, I feel like when you have a calling about something or when something is your truth, you feel it deep inside you. Like
you do.
Every time you try to run away from it, it's like a pull.
It's calling you back.
You feel like you're being pulled towards that thing.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to seek validation from people and you're trying to ask everyone, hey, what do you think? What do you think?
Gosh.
And everyone is going to project their fears, their insecurities on you. Be like, I don't think you can do that because then they've never done it, you know, or something like that. But if you know what your truth is and you stand firm in it, and even when you go asking for advice and then you just stand in the truth of, you know, this is where I'm headed, this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
People are going to call you a rebel.
Exactly.
They might not call you that name rebel, but they're going to be like, this person is maybe disobedient or weird. You know? Yeah, all those names that make you feel like you're an outcast. But you're not, because we're here so that you can feel like you're at home. And
wow, you know, as you were talking, I thought about something that can be a potential topic.
Okay.
You know, sometimes let's put an example as parents. I'm not touching on our personal lives. I'm just putting it in general. Sometimes your parent might not be the ideal person you go to seek advice from. You know,
that's true,
and that can be. Let's just put it in general, like growing up and realizing that you can't seek advice from people you are close to sometimes is kind of bittersweet.
It is,
you know, because they'll give you advice according to the path they want to live. Maybe they are failed mistakes, they want to project that onto you, or maybe sometimes you're just asking for advice from someone who doesn't have the capacity to give it to you.
Yes,
you know, like someone who has never been out of Kenya can't tell you how you're gonna go to Maldives and where and where and where by next week. You know?
That's true. Yeah, you can't give people advice about a certain thing you haven't done, you know. So it's good to, if you're looking for advice, to look for advice from someone who has already had that experience. They're probably gonna give you more valid points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys, we have a lot to talk about. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's our first podcast. Short and
Officially.
sweet.
Short and sweet. Guys, for sure the next one is gonna be longer. We just wanted to give a touch on what this name means to us.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, how about we call people who join this family rebels?
Yeah.
I don't know. What
What do you guys think?
Tell
what do you
us.
guys think?
Tell us.
We want you to comment and
Yeah.
tell us, like, give yourselves a name, like, come with a name that comes from that Truth Seeking Rebels something.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for listening. Please come back. We have more coming for you.
Yes, we do.